Hello, hey hi everyone. Welcome back to the next session of SAP ABAP on HANA training series. Thank you for choosing the tutorial. So in the last session, we have discussed about our Greenfield, Brookfield implementations. Okay, we have also discussed about the S4 HANA platforms as it's provided in two different flavors. You can say two different platforms it is provided. One is on-premise and another is something looking from the slide. Yeah, another is cloud edition. Okay, so I would again say that I think with my experience, 90 or 80% of your companies are on premise because you have access to SAP GUI. Because we have discussed in the last session, last to last session, I think uh, we have discussed like whenever you will be on cloud edition, then there will be no access to the SAP GUI. Okay, there is no access to create a report, to create a custom report like that. It's not like that. Okay, cloud edition we have discussed, and we have discussed about on premise. Why I'm saying is there are like some of your most of the companies, 80 to 90% of your companies are on premise edition because you are able to start accessing the SAP GUI. Okay, so in that case, this is the scenario which we have discussed. Okay, and as I told you in the previous session, also those who want to learn S4 Cloud in details with embedded analyticals, please you can subscribe to our S4 HANA Cloud course that I have covered is for in cloud concept in details. But those, as I can see here, majority of you don't need to learn that course because this course is sufficient enough for you. Understand the concepts of ABAP on HANA is enough for you. Okay. So we have also discussed about the benefits of on-premise versus cloud. Okay, what is that they want to achieve? So this is overall the new ERP solution, so-called HANA. Okay, so let's talk about some important things. So in the implementation phase, you saw the first thing which your company would do is identifying the code. Okay, so one second, let me move to the next slide. Wait a minute. So guys, let's move to the next slide. Yeah. So here you can see what are the custom related process, custom code related, whatever our custom code is there, what are the related processes and the steps we have to do. Then the implementation phase, you saw the first thing which your company would do is identify the code. Okay, in the preparation phase, okay, identify the code, remove which is that code, then they will do basic checks for HANA implementation. Okay, then they do S4 HANA readiness check, and then they will apply the updates and upgrades. They will update the S4 HANA. They will do the necessary installation and setup and data movement from old system to new systems. And now, since you are on HANA, it's an ABAP on HANA system. The next immediate question your senior, your manager may ask you, can you improve performance? Okay, like this is the next immediate question. Your manager, your senior, your lead will ask you. You can improve if performance. You can improve performance. You told me so much about HANA. That HANA is an in-memory database. It's a fast processing, sorry, fast computing, parallel processing, column store. Okay, right here. I hear it all. Very good, no problem. It's on the paper. Okay. So this is the next important question which your company can ask you. What about performance improvement? How can I improve performance of my existing code? For example, I written any code to fetch the data from EKPO data table. It's fetching the data previously also. Now, what has been changed? Now, because I am on S4 HANA system, what is changed now? Okay, I invested so many money of me on this HANA database. Now, what give me the good output? Okay, so how can I improve my performance of my existing code now? So first I move the code and then I adopt the code. After I adopt the code, now I need to know, for example, so what we have done now is we have moved our code from non HANA database to the HANA database system or from suite on HANA to the S4 HANA. What I will do is after that I adopt the code now and I need to know how can I improve the code so that my company can or I can leverage SAP HANA to get good performance. Okay, so this is the next question. We will be looking into that in our today's episode. How can you find out some important points and factors which can affect your performance? Okay, so let's talk about some guidelines which SAP has given once again, guys. Yeah. So let's talk about some guidelines which SAP has given since it's said there since many years, not today, but it will be just a quick refresher for all of you. The good guidelines for a good programming in the our world. Okay. So guidelines for and once again, let me write here. Custom code. We'll be talking about custom code. What are the guidelines for increasing for performance improvement? Okay. So what are the some guidelines in ABAP with respect to performance? Okay, I'm telling you guys with respect to performance. Okay, so what are all the different guidelines which SAP have released since many years? They are there, which you need to know, keep it in mind if you want to achieve good performance. So let me write down some important performance improvements. Okay, so let's start. First is what are the first guidelines is keep your result set small. Okay, keep your result set small. What does this mean? Okay, you need to keep your result set small. Keep your result set small. So I okay. So small result set and one is big. Let me get some pictures. One second, let me add something here. Guys, yeah. So this is my one, and another is there. Okay, this is my another data set. So what it is saying is, they are saying is keep your data set is small. I would like to represent here, you can see in the pictorial way. So we see this is a big result set and this is a small result set. This is a big result set and this is a small result set. So if of course your result set is small, then you will know yeah, you will get better performance. Of course, you would not want to transfer a lot of data because the database layer to the application layer and you want to get good performance out of course. So you still want to still show the correct result to the user. It's not like you compromising on result, but you keep your result set small. It should be not like this also, but keep your data set small. It should not like data, the output whichever is coming is not feasible, is not like readable, is not acceptable to the end user, then there is no use also for the performance increment. So the thing is, keep your data set small as per the requirement. Okay, fetch least the data as much as you can. Okay, so you don't want to transfer a lot of data between the database layer to the application layer. Okay. Don't compromise on the result, but you keep your data result set small as much as you can. Whatever data you really need to show to the to the user, only that much you are transferring. So how do you achieve? What are the guidelines? Say what can you what can you do to achieve this result set as a small? So what are the guidelines? How can you, as I said, you can like, yeah, put your data set small. But one second, guys. But what are the guidelines? How can you put it, Anna? Let me move it till there. Okay. So the first thing which is, so what are the guidelines? So the first is discard lines. Lines using where condition and having condition if you are using group by. Okay, the records which you don't need. So you said where condition and having condition. okay, to discard the results which you really don't need. Okay, so what we can read is use use where condition and group by group by. Okay, so what you have to do is use this group by, okay, and use having whenever you are using this group by clause. Is this clear, guys? First point is clear. The records you should which you don't need, use a where condition, okay, and having condition to discard the records. Okay, so it's not like you select start from everything from the table. Of course, let's say you need reports of course center anything like 002. You have to put it in the where clause. Okay. Uh, Okay, so if you want to fetch the data, it's not like firstly, for example, you have fetched the data from the database table. For example, you have taken the Mara table and you have fetched select the data from Mara where the data is starting from. Normally, for example, your requirement is fetch the data from the database table where the name is where the date is more than today, sorry, more than like 2023, whichever are created in this year. So it should not be like this. First, you will fetch the data and then loop the internal table item and then what is that filtering the records from there. No, directly fetch the data from the database table by using the where request. Clear, guys? Okay. So when it goes to discard those records which you don't need them, then comes here is avoid using nested selects. Okay, I would say avoid using nested using selects, which gets you large number of reports. Sometimes I see people like some of them use a select query with another select query, and that may you never know the result. Probably it may produce huge amount of result, and that can cause big performance issues at times. Okay. Also, then try to use aggregations with group by clause. Okay. So what does it do? So sometimes, let's say you get a requirement to get me the total sales of the particular for any customer. Let's say, okay. So get me the total sales of this particular customer. Now, in that case, what people do? They do select star from the table. What they will do? They will firstly fetch the data from the database table to our internal table. Then they will do? They will loop the internal table and they will filter the reports. Loop at internal table and calculate the total and at the application layer. Bad idea, guys. Seriously, this is a bad idea. Use group by clause. It will improve the performance. Is it clear, guys? So it will do the aggregation in the database itself, and it will finally return you only the final result set, which is total sales per quarter or total sales per region. Whatever you want is you first directly fetch from the select you fetch using the select query. Don't put a load in the data on the in the application layer. Okay, so it will do in the aggregation in the database itself, and it finally return you only the final result set, which is total sales per quarter. For example, whatever the total sales per user, which you really wanted. So this is in this way you can reduce down the size of the data and the result head size will be smaller. So try to use this statement. Okay, this is very basics. Actually, these are very basic rules which everyone should know. Okay, so I'm telling you here because some of you may be completely new to the programming, so that's why I'm telling you what are the some steps you should do. Okay, or you may have some only basic basic knowledge of there. That's why I'm discussing all of these things here. Okay, so that okay since many years in a web language, but not really made so much of impact as it has today, because today we have a capability with HANA to actually leverage these guidelines once again and get the better performance. Okay, this is clear, guys. First is keep the result set small as much as you can. Okay, the second guideline is minimize the number of polls to the database. What is this? Minimize the number of polls to database. What is this? What is this I'm saying, guys? This is Calls to database means don't hit the database again and again. Don't write multiple select queries to do the same task in your program, in your reports, anywhere. Okay, don't use it to minimize the number of hits to the database. So what does this mean? Minimize the number of hits. Okay. So for example, sorry, there is some report which is doing hit the like database again and again. For example, exactly doing what does it mean? It means I'm hiding my database. Sorry, I'm hitting my database and again. This is going to disturb the database. It's going to increase the network load between the application layer and the database layer. Because whenever you will write a select query in application layer, it will go and again to the database layer. Don't do this. So rather, you should not do that. You should do it only once, if possible. Again, I'm saying, look at what I'm saying is if possible. It's not like you should do only this. As I said, we don't have to use it. But if it will be okay for you to go and read the database again and again, don't do this. Okay, but if possible only. These are only guidelines. Okay, okay, guys. So what is this is usage of select and some people write select and select to use a select in the looping statement. Okay, so it's a loop which is selecting data again and again into the from the database. It's hitting your DB again and again. So when you do a loop at iter and within that loop you are doing the select query. Some people I have seen is they are writing the select query inside the loops. Okay, for example, loop will work for 100 times, then select query will, then your application layer, then will also go to the database layer for 100 times. So are you thinking how much bad performance this will be? This is okay. So inside the loop, don't use this. So avoid usage of select and select. What are all the remedies here? Okay. What can you use? We can use joins. We can use subqueries. Okay. We can use for all entries. Right. So these are all some of the benefits. So these are all things which you can use to avoid unnecessary loops. Loops inside loops can be avoided. Okay. Is this clear, guys? Just give me a moment. Okay, so here we can also write. What we can write is we can use join, subqueries. Okay, we can use for all entries, subqueries. Okay. We can use for all entries. Okay. So this is all about this. Okay. So next is minimize the amount of. Again, let me write down this. Minimize the amount of data transfer. Okay, so minimize the amount of data transfer. So minimize, how do you minimize? So how do we represent it? Okay, once again, note this out. So minimize also the amount of data transfer. What do I mean by amount? So last time we were really caring about the number of records, but now here we care about number of columns. Previously, what we was caring about here the number of records. So here, what I am like caring about this number of columns. Again, representing like the same example, EKTO table, or you can take Mara table. EKTO table may have like it's having around 150 of columns, or Mara table may be having 247 of columns, 247 number of columns. You don't want or never use all of these 150 columns in your every any single program. In single program, you will, it's a rare case, guys, you will use all those like columns at the same time. But what you do, you still need the select star. So avoid, what you have to avoid is, so avoid select query. Okay, so it's disastrous in HANA because it's a column store. Use aggregate functions to do some min max, all those things. Do it aggregate functions. Don't do it with simple select. Then comes is minimize the search overhead on databases. Overhead in terms of usage, sir, we have also a concept something known as fuzzy search. Okay, what fuzzy search? Okay, which we will discuss in our like after this course, which we will discuss. Okay, so if you search or full text search in SAP HANA, ABAP or HANA, so we will be learning that in our like last session only. Okay, last unit of this session. Okay, so avoid using lot of unnecessary search. Okay, so in that case, what is the option we have? What is the option we can choose? So we can go with full text search. Okay, so this is another feature with SAP HANA offers. We will cover this in our last session. Okay, then also the next guideline says don't overhead database with unnecessary executions. Execution means some people, just want to have fun with system, put a background job for some days, for 20 days, and who cares to stop it? Okay. So don't do all of these things. Okay. They are used. You can perform complicated tasks in the background job, but unnecessary cases, please don't do that. So these are all of the some of the guidelines which you can do for your improvement for increasing the performance. Okay, so let me show you a quick example how can you fetch keep your data set in a small. Okay, so let me log into the SAP system. Give me a moment. Okay, yeah, so you can see here I logged into the system. So if I will go to, I will show you a use case of this. I will show you an example. Other than that, or like, okay, for example, I have a MAKT table. Okay, so let's execute this. Mm, Let me take this material only. Go back. Okay. Let me give this material here. Let's execute. Look how many records this material is having here. Two line items we are having in the same table. Okay. So what does this mean? What is the purpose of this showing you? Here, what I just told you is keep your data set small. How you will do? I have seen some of the people fetching the data from the MAKT table, so description of the material without using any where condition. Okay, what they are doing is, for example, this material is having two records in this case. So which is the like feasible for you? Okay, which record? Look, this is D. This is in DE language, and this one is in G. This is in German language, and this is in English language. Which language is feasible for you? Which is so? Worst case is you can say as we are in English. First is case is the English. We have to use where with English. Where language SPRS equals to English. We can use this. Other than that, if we want to make that code for other reason guide also, what we can do is we can write the style language over there. Okay, so how can we decrease it? We can fetch the code from MAKT table with the system language, whatever the system language it will be, whether it will be English, CE, German, okay. Second, for whichever, okay, Arabic, Danish, Greek, English, Spanish, whatever the language it will be in the system, it will fetch only the description. So it will decrease your number of records. Okay, so this is how you can do the performance increment by using these small things which you never take care about this. I hope in your past time, but from now, take care of all those things from now. It will be really very benefit, very helpful for all of you guys. Okay, so is this clear? Okay, so that's all for this session. We will discuss something else in the next session. Okay, we will see more about all of these things again in the next sessions. Okay, thank you. Bye bye. Have a good day. Bye.